Hi, it's Cindy Fodor, and it is Make It Monday. It is July the 12th, and I'm so excited to have you here with me tonight. I have a lot of stuff to show you, so I'm going to be talking really fast and showing you a ton because this is a pre-recorded session because I have class tonight. So I'm going to rely on your comments, guys. I really, really need your comments tonight. So I'm going to be giving away a pack of excuse me, new embellishments just for those who are commenting during the live. I will check it as soon as I'm finished with my class. So please, please leave comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know your favorite product as we're working, or maybe your favorite card. Yeah, so I just really need your you guys to like just blow it up, okay? All right. Let's see. I am going to tell you a couple of things before I get started, and I promise it will be quick. First of all, I'm highlighting our designer paper tonight, so I'm going to show you a ton of ideas with using designer paper. So don't forget the sale is this month 15% off of 9 different designer papers, and they're all fabulous. You will want them all, I'm almost certain. Going to show you a couple different ones tonight. The other thing that I want to remind you about, I sent an email out, I believe this morning. No, that might have come out early. No, I think it was this morning. I'm not sure. I sent a couple emails out. I have Christmas in July coming up on the 31st, and it is going to be so much fun. You can choose from 2 different events or both events. It is from 10 to 2 on Saturday, July 31st. So you got to get signed up. A spot. There are limited spots. It is in my stamp room, so it will definitely be first come first serve. We're going to be doing Christmas projects. We're going to have Christmas music. We'll have punch, cookies. But here's the thing. I know we're not ready for Christmas, but it is time to get started if you plan to make some Christmas cards. So I hope this will inspire you to think about what you might want to make, and then keep your eye out for the mail, or if you're coming to class, your catalogs there. I have the new holiday version of the catalog, of the mini catalog, and Celebration starts next month. So a great time to stock up and get the supplies that you want for your Christmas cards. So yes, you have to think about that a little bit ahead, don't you? All right, so that's the 2 main things I needed to talk about. Let's flip over here to my screen and get started. So the first designer paper that I want to highlight is our plant one. I can't remember what's Bloom Warrior Planet, I think it's called. This is just a little sampling of it. I'm not going to show you those. The catalog shows them fairly well, and just because of time constraints. And I'm just highlighting this stamp set because I'm using this for my scrapbook page this month, and borrowed this from Andrea. Have a bunch of things that I'm making with that, but I'm going to show you a couple with this set. Before I start that, I do want to show you this beautiful gift that was given to me this weekend by Deborah Buchanan. Thank you so much. This has its place right on my desk here and holds almost everything that I had like bopping around on my desk in just an ugly plastic container. I'm going to turn this fan off so it's not being noisy. Sorry forgot to do that. Okay, so as you can see, I cut a few things out of this paper already. I'm going to finish cutting this. I have most of it cut. It's really not hard to cut, although sometimes I snip off some of this extra stuff because trying to move around with all these extra pieces sometimes gets a little bulky. There, that'll be a little bit easier. We've got this very narrow stem in the center, so we don't want to cut that. And I think I forgot to turn one of my lights on. There, is that? All right. Just wanted to save a little bit to show you how quick and easy it is to cut. And there's tons of little hills and valleys here, but it's not that difficult. It's definitely easier when you're not on camera, let me just say. And you choose how detailed you want to get. I was pretty detailed on this, however, you definitely do not have to be. I'm cutting pretty close to the... All right, we have a little bit down here yet. Now, I feel like since I cut everything else out, I should get in there and cut that. I could use an X-Acto knife, but I don't think that it's going to matter. I'm just going to snip the leaf, and the leaf will just go back together there. Okay, so now I have 3 different pieces that I'm going to use on my card. And I'm also using a stamped image of the pot with the die cut, and I'm using this cute little hanger. I'm going to go ahead and just snip these edges off here, as they tend to stick out from the edge of the planner. And even down here, I noticed that if I trim this a little closer, and it doesn't have to be perfect because it's underneath the macrame. Okay, and then this piece I stamped and cut out, and I also wanted to show you how you can make these pieces a little more movable. Whoops! By just getting in here and giving them a little slit, and that way I'll be able to wind them in and out of my macrame a little bit more. Excuse me, sorry, I should have cleared my throat before I got on camera. All right, so the other pieces that I have, this is a piece of the designer paper, the bricks. There's leaves on the other side, which is absolutely gorgeous too. And then I did pull in a piece from our In Good Taste designer paper, which is not on sale. That's a very large pack, but a lot of you probably have that already because it came out last year. And it is a fabulous pack of textures and building products and that type of thing. Just so many things you can do with it. So I'm just going to pop this on here. It's a 4 by 5 1/4 piece, just so that I have a little bit of a border there. And then I'm going to go ahead and, whoops, having issues there today. And I'm going to put that right there. And then we're just going to place these things. This one's going to be sort of in the background here. So I'm gonna use some green glue because I don't want to try to use my seal, only because I have all these tiny little pieces that I want to make sure I get glue on, so that they all glue down and stay. You see how floppy that is? I want to make sure that's gonna sit well. And I'm gonna pop that right there. Okay, and then we have this guy. I'll do the same with him. I don't think I'm going to use any dimensionals on this card. The plants, I think, give a lot of dimension themselves. I might just pop a dimensional right there on that plant. We'll just stick that right there. That way it has just a tiny bit of dimension. And then we have this little guy that I cut out, and I will, since he's pretty firm, not as tiny of pieces on this one, I will pop him right there. Okay, now that's cute just like that. I think I could put a saying on there and be finished. I actually really like that. Debating whether I want to stick this on here. I think it could be cute, but absolutely not necessary. And I was going to put some of these greens in here. How do I want to do this? It's fun fiddling with them, trying to figure out what's going to fit where. This one is where I cut the... There we go. So we could put that there, but I actually think that makes it a little busy, even though that's adorable and I love it. I think I want to leave it like this, and I'm just going to put a saying right here. So let me grab the set, and I'm going to put the thank you right there. Let me just grab a block here. And I have early espresso. it'll fit right there. There we go. I think that's cute, just like that. Sometimes simple is better, and it's definitely not simple. I mean, I did a lot of cutting here, so it's definitely not completely simple. And I brought no cleaning stuff, so that will be cleaned later. All right, so we'll save this for another project. Let me get to the next one real quick. Another really simple one. I'm copying one that I found online. I thought it was so cute. It uses this paper, which has just pots on the other side. And I really, this paper didn't do anything for me when I first saw it. But when you think of this as a monochromatic card, you're going to see how cool that becomes. And we're going to use some black in here because it's a shade of gray. Now I'm using gray granite as my base because the design in here is gray granite. So I chose to go ahead and stay with that. And then I took this piece and I did our patterned die on the back. I always forget what it's called. Stitch greenery die. Okay. So that added a little bit of interest to that piece. Having issues with my adhesive today. I'm not sure what my touch is totally off. Okay, and that's going to go right here. And then I'm going to stamp on this, and we're going to use gray granite, and I couldn't find my ink pad. It must be in my stuff for class. And I'm using this big leaf stamp and the pot stamp. And let me grab my block here. And everything's going to be in gray granite because we are staying tone on tone. I'm hoping that this is going to stamp well. Let me grab my mat here just to make sure that we don't mess up with that. And then there's another block. Let me put this on here. Again, we'll ink it. And we want that right in our pot. Stamp. I'm going to lift it and I'm going to stamp it one more time just to look like the plant is a little more 3D. And then let's come back and use that same stamp. I'm just going to wipe it off to make sure there's not too much brown on there. And I probably should do that in black. Yeah, I have black here. Let me just wipe that off with I do have a paper towel here, so that'll help instead of wiping it all over my hands. This is one that you definitely want to make sure you've got inked well. There. Okay. Just gonna wipe that off. All right. So let me get rid of that. We'll pop this up on here. Let's get 4 dimensionals on here. I know they're not spaced very carefully, but that's okay. You're not going to see them once they're on, right? And then we'll just pop that up right here. We will throw on a couple of matte black dots just because they're beautiful. And stick one there. And one more. There we go. All right, finished card. Ooh. Okay, quick and easy, right? All right, that's 2 with that set. Now we're going to switch out stamp sets. And I'm going to grab the peach set because I love our peach paper and I've used it quite a bit. I've probably shown you a bit of it. I'm also pulling in this new die set that coordinates with the stamp set in the catalog, but this is a free set that you can earn with Celebration that's coming up in August. So this is a little sneak peek for you. Okay, and then I'm using the peach set, and I'm only really using the peach paper. I'm trying to think if I used anything out of here other than the saying I'm going to be using. Okay, So let's pull our paper here. I have a couple of pieces, and I did have to piece this one because out of 2 packs of paper, I have used every bit of this because I think we're using that for class this month. And I used this cute little piece. Is that not adorable? I also used this piece, which was too white. So I sponged the edge, and I just wanted to pull that in. I do want to add just a little bit more sponging there. Let me grab my scrap paper. I just want to add a little bit more brown to the edge, or to the, I want it to contrast a little bit more with the other pieces that are there. And I did already do the edge, but I might just darken that a little bit more. Okay, that's soft suede. And then I'm going to take, let's go ahead and glue that down. I have a few other things to add to it. And I'm not going to join that exactly because this is going to go in between here. And I'm going to go ahead and pop that up. Let's put a couple dimensionals on here. I have them everywhere. I've been playing this morning with with this stuff and making a huge mess with dimensional. Okay, so now I cut out some vellum, and I used the flowers, 2 flowers from that die set that I just showed you. It is called, in case you look for it, Summer Shadows dies, and it is in the celebration brochure that you will be receiving. If you aren't sure that you'll be on my list, please let me know that you want one, and I'll make sure that it was sent out. I did mail some out today. Okay, I do want to change this up too. I am going to sponge the edge of this vellum. Now I will tell you, vellum takes a little bit of time to dry, so it's probably going to be a little messy. I should have probably sponged it beforehand. I really want these edges to stand out from the paper a little bit. And I didn't put this card together beforehand, so it's going to be a little trial and error to see how this flower goes together. This is called winging it. Okay. I had the basic idea, but not sure. Can't tell. I punched that, but I couldn't tell which was the good side. And let's go ahead and do the peachy, just peachy, or have a peachy day. I used up all my blocks and didn't wash them. That's what happens when you don't wash them. Okay. Just close that so I don't make a mess with that. And I'm just going to wipe this off just so that I don't steam that too much. Okay, let me go ahead and put that on our other punched out piece. This is with our scallop and oval punch. Comes all in one. It's awesome. Very excited to have that. I have missed our scallop and oval punches, so really excited to have them back. All right, I'm going to just pop that up there. I want to try to cover up that slit in there as much as I can. Maybe right there. Doesn't look straight, does it? I think I stamped it a little crooked. All right, and then I'm going to pop my flower here, and I would like to change this flower up a little bit. So I'm going to pull out my mat. This is my good mat, and I don't like to, I'm going to change out my tool and add my stylus tool. I usually don't stylus on my good mats, so I might just pull in this, because I like to stamp on this, so I like to make sure this surface stays nice. So I'm going to try it on here instead. So I'm using the largest tool, and I'm just going to start here in the center, and I'm going to just go out here on the back piece because I want it to come up a little bit, and it is going to show through, so I want to make sure that my design stays consistent. I'm just trying to give it a little bit of shape. I'm hoping those swirls don't show too much. Usually paper, if you press in the center, will give you a little bit of shape. So let's see if that helps this. Let's go ahead and just give this one a little bit of a fold. I'm going to use my bone folder here and just curl it a little bit. I don't want it to have that white effect on it. So I'm being a little more careful because this one's going to show a little bit more. And there we go. Do I want those to line up with each other? Maybe. And then this little guy is going to go right in the center. And I'm going to see if I can give him, you see how he curls up there? Okay. And he's going to go right in the center. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and, I don't know, I might just need 2 of those instead of 3. So I think I'm going to pitch that guy. Let me, I think I'm going to put a 1-dimensional on here and pop that on my card. And then I'm going to put some green glue on this. Now it's going to take green glue a little bit of time to dry, but I feel like that's going to spread out a little bit and give me a little more pizzazz that I'm looking for. Okay. Now, let me just get rid of this. Well, I need this. Let me switch back to my other tool. That's a little, well, I guess I don't need the other tool. I'm going to use, I'm going to apply some genial gems, but I want to change the color because I want it to match this. So I pulled out my Calypso Coral marker, and I'm going to pick the large one here, and I'm going to color it so that it's bright and cheery and really makes that flower pop. Not sure that's going to be ready to get this glued on there. You see my goop has pushed off the side, so I'm just going to push it back in place. And that should be dry by now. So let's see if that pops off of here. And see if I can lay it on here. There we go. Ooh, how pretty is that? Let me just get that up so you can see it in the light. I think that really helps those peaches to pop there. Okay, so a little bit of a torn edge on this piece just to give it some interest. All right, let me scoot that one. Oh, I forgot. I wanted to add these. The gal that designed this had added these cute little gold leaves. These are from Expressions in Ink or Artistic Expression. I forget exactly the title of that. But let me just go ahead. I think I can stick a glue dot on those and just pop those in place. I'm still getting used to these glue dots being on the back of the roll. And I'm going to stick 2 in there so that I can, whoops, of course it's going to stick to my finger. What did you think, Cindy? All right. Just stick that under here. Ah, that does it. That's beautiful. Okay. So there we go. A little vellum, a little gold foil, some genial gems, and voila. Designer paper, guys. Chop it and use it. Okay. Let's see. What else did I have to show you? So Stampin' Up! Did an event for us. And we took, I believe, 5 pieces of 6x6 designer paper, and I used this pattern paper. I think it's called Playing with Patterns. And we actually cut it. We had a design. Oops, I think I lost that glue dot. I just found it. I didn't realize it fell off. You guys probably did, though. You saw it, huh? Let me clean off my mess here. I want to show you some of the designs. So she showed us how to cut it, walked us through cutting it. And so I ended up with, I have these a little mixed up here. I was putting them together. So I ended up with 4 cards like this. So 4 cards using this little square design. I put some of them with diamond as a diamond and some as a square, depending on how these flowers were looking. And then today I just finally got these labels on with my Maggie helper. Then we did some like this. So I have 4 of those. And yeah, added some sayings to those. These are not fancy, but they're quick and easy and a way to have a bunch of cards if you need cards to send. These little, oh, I guess I glued that one down, but these are loose. And these we cut by hand. We just folded the paper and cut them by hand and flipped them over. I actually cut them to match so that I could move them around and mix and match them a little bit. And then I have several where we did, these 2 pieces are exactly the same at the top and the bottom, and then we had this little 3/4 inch piece in between that we could add. And so that made it really fun and easy just to sort of play with them, sit them with, you know, see what it went with. You had everything cut ahead of time, and so you just sort of sat down and started piecing them to see what coordinated. And I'm really excited. I pulled out some of the papers that were listed with the colors in the set. And then this was the last piece that we had left over, and we just cut them into little pieces and made one card with that. So hope you like that idea. There's so many other things that I could show you. Just time doesn't even allow for that. But I do have one more card that I want to finish with. And that is another one with the peach designer paper. And so I have some pieces here, and these are 3/4 inch strips. And then I just put them in here and cut them with this punch. And I don't like that one. It's not very straight. So I'm gonna recut that one. And I'm gonna line it up back here so that I can cut it right. Which unfortunately is going to change the length of all of mine, so I might have to recut all of them. Let me see if I can find any other ones that need recut. This one could be. So put it in the front, line it up in the back. There we go. And then this one I didn't do yet, so we'll do that one. I put it in the front because I want to make sure I get it in the right side. I'm just going to move that in just a little bit more. Ooh, shot that one right in my face. And then, see, if I don't look, then I don't get it in. Must be something stuck in there, because I wonder what I got in there. It's not going through. That's interesting. Maybe I bent this. Probably shoving it too much. Seriously, it went up and fell into my glasses and got caught in my nose. The things you do with punches, right? The things you find when you take your clothes off at night. Okay. So there we go. So I have these 3 pieces that I'm using, and then I have the 3 other sides plus an extra piece, I believe. I don't think one of these I didn't use. Maybe these 2 I didn't use. So now I'm going to, I want it to look sort of like it's like it is ruffled. Boy, I couldn't think of that word. That is craziness. So I'm just going to push the pieces together here at the top, and that's not going to show because that's going to be underneath. Like the top edge will be underneath. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put a whole line of glue here, and I want it to stick really good. And then I'm going to start pressing it down as I go. It's a little forgiving, like you can usually pull it off a little bit and get it restarted if you need to. Okay, now ready to put that on, and I'm going to pop each of these up, and I'm going to put 4 on here just because there's so much fullness with this paper. It's heavy with that those extra folds in there. So I'm going to go ahead and put 4 of those on there. And I want to put my greeting here. So let me just see how I want that. I'll put this about here. Okay, and we're going to do the same to this one. Let me go ahead and put the adhesive on here. I hope you guys are finding lots of things you can do with your, I know you have DSP or designer paper. I think we all tend to hoard it instead of using it. And my goal is just to get us using it so that it's not just sitting there going to waste. We get bored with it if we don't use it. We think we're afraid to use it because we don't want to use it all up because we love it so much. But if we love it, we need to use it and share it with, share the joy with others, right? So a few more dimensionals here. This will be a very many dimensional card, right? Looks like I'm using up all my dimensionals. All right, so this one goes in the center. I hope I'm getting that straight. And then one more. We're gonna put adhesive here on this. And again, you can see that I had to join this because seriously, I love this paper. I've been using it a ton. And there are certain designs, depending on what I use for class, that just end up being very, very sparse. And it's tough when I go to make other things that I don't have. All right, almost finished, guys. I think it's going to be really cute. I hope we love it. All right, now this one, let's see. Let me just pull off a piece of this. We might as well just do the whole length. And I'm copying this basic layout idea from a gal, and I'm sorry, I don't even know her name. It wasn't listed on the idea, but she pulled out this cute little butterfly from our Butterfly Elegance, I think it's called. So we're going to pop him on there, and let's see if I can just grab a little bit, yep, of my adhesive. I don't want it to show, so I'll roll it back on itself. Oh, I didn't get it quite back far enough. Okay, and then I do want to add another gem. Where did they go? I'm going to go ahead and do the same, since we use some of the same colors here. So I just throw stuff everywhere, and guess what? I can't find my pen. You guys know how that is, right? I'm always losing something. All right. I usually find it on the floor sometime later, but all right. Calypso Coral Pen, where did you go? Here it is. It was under my dies. Let's go ahead and, yeah, let's go ahead and color another one of those. I'm not sure. I might want a smaller one for that. You do want to be careful when you use your tip for that because it can really rough up. Especially these are not terribly smooth, and you don't want to rough up that tip. So let me just pop that on there. There we go. And then we do need a saying here at the bottom, and I'm going to use my early espresso again. And we're going to use To a Sweet Friend. And I want to show you, remember I showed you how to stamp a piece of paper to stick in this side so that these are upside down and it's very hard to read. So I can come over here and see what that saying is, to a sweet friend, and I know exactly that it's two up from the other side, except that somebody put them in the wrong spot. That's really helpful. Okay, to a sweet friend goes there. All right, here we go. That worked really well, huh? Okay. And sometimes these longer, skinnier ones tend to want to not be straight. So I usually let it hang down and then just sort of let it fall so that it's lined up like it should be. And right here on this edge. And ta-da, it is finished. Find my screen so I can see. All right, so hopefully that gives you a few ideas that you can use with your designer paper. Of course, last Monday you saw the one we're doing for class this month, so that will be a good idea to use. And you can take a look at that if you missed that one. That was using some of these peach papers as well. All right, well, thank you for being here. Thank you for commenting, letting me know what you enjoy. And again, stay tuned for the email, or check the email out. Let me know if you did not get it, if you need me to resend that for you. And I'll be happy to do that. And also, if you're not on my typical list to get catalogs, if you've not purchased from me before, you can just let me know and I will be happy to send you any catalogs that you need.